This is a new headlamp from Black Diamond. It's called the Distance LT 1100. They sent it to me to test and review. I've used it on a couple of trips and a couple of hikes over the summer, and I'll walk you guys through some of the kind of interesting features. So first of all, it is an absolutely massive light with a huge battery. It's got 2,400 milliamp hours capacity, which means that it has some very long burn time. On medium at 300 lumens, they claim 14 hours runtime. I've been using it on medium, no problem, it's very bright. At 600 lumens, they claim just over 4 hours. It also has a sort of boost mode, I think they call it power tap. And on the low mode at 7 lumens, 120 hours of runtime. It has quite a few different lighting modes. So a kind of flood mode when you turn it on, a spot mode, and then a red light. You can also change that red light to green or blue, which is kind of interesting. My preference is to just run it on the sort of standard setting on that area lighting. Works really well. You get a really good perspective on the trail. When you switch it over to spot, it definitely does have a more directed spot. And then when you use the power tap, it just goes ridiculously bright. That's supposed to be 1200 lumens. That setting isn't designed to be used extensively. It's just to get a peek and really see what's going on out there. But pretty impressive lighting capacity. So in terms of just the overall design, what makes it a little bit different than some other headlamps is that the actual electronics are in, and the light are in this part of it here. That has the USB charging port. The battery is a separate unit, and you can get replacements for this. The head strap comes off really pretty easily, just pops out. Then you have the battery here, you have the head strap if you want to wash that or whatever. So if you're out on climbs or whatever and you want to have, you know, extra capacity with you, the batteries aren't too expensive. So the unit just goes back on there, clips on, locks on. When you want to direct the light, it's just a small part of the unit that pivots. The battery stays up against your head, and that means that it feels pretty balanced. I've actually been pretty impressed with it because this is not a light unit. There is a lot of battery weight there, and that's what gives you those long run times. So it's a trade-off. You know, you can't have a 1 ounce lamp and it run for 14 hours on medium. I think it's a pretty impressive unit. There's only a few things that I've sort of found a little bit weird in the design. First of all is that the charging port is in the main part of the unit, and that means that if you were to have other batteries and you pop this off, there's no way to charge this unit, so you have to put the light on it to charge. I'd like to see them come out with some kind of charging hub so you could put multiple batteries on that hub and charge them, and on top of that have some kind of fast charging mode, because as it stands, this takes 4 hours to charge when it's dead. So 4 hours is a pretty long time. I'm getting more and more used to different electronics that have fast charge mode with power delivery. So I'll give you an example. I'm filming right now on a DJI camera that I can fast charge from 0 to 80% in 15 minutes. And I think that's getting to the stage where I'm expecting things like that. So if they could have a charging hub with a power delivery sort of function that gives you fast charging for spare batteries, that would be really great, especially if you're out doing something like ultras. When you get to an aid station, you'd want to be able to charge up really quick, potentially swap out batteries and get going. The sun is setting right now. I'm going to hike out and I'll be able to show you guys some of the different lighting modes and you know, just what the light pattern looks like in general. All right, so nice and dark right now. And that is the base kind of floodlight. Really good. Super even. Really lights up a lot of the trail in a really even pattern. I'll turn that to the spot. That's the spot. Can't really tell necessarily with the camera, but I like the even pattern much more. Just lights a lot more of the trail up. See a lot more around and in your surroundings. If we go onto the boost, it's pretty bright.